What was it like to be at the plate?
Yeah, so had gone over just adjustments with Martyr before the game. Been trying to figure out stuff leading up to the weekend and also into the weekend, and just happened to find something that could click for me. And Martyr works hard with everybody to find something that gets him comfortable and just gets us ready to, compete every day.
What were those adjustments?
So I was just able to find my load in the back. So just starting with my load. And kind of just keeping my hands there and just being on time, really, and being in rhythm is something Martyr really teaches and wants us to really develop. And it's just a huge part is just being on time and in rhythm.
What's that role like being in the 9-hole, kind of having the responsibility to turn the lineup back over to the top?
Yeah. So we were able to obviously create momentum in the back of our lineup throughout the weekend, and it's something huge that, I think could add elite offense to a deep lineup, and just the importance of being in the back, and I think is just setting up the guys in the top of the order to be able to hit us in, and also for us to be able to drive people in the middle of the order.
You always choke up with 2 strikes. I only saw you do it against a lefty, but is that always your
also
approach?
That's been something also that I've been working on in the winter, was also just being choked up throughout the entire at bat, just to control barrel and just being quicker in the zone and being able to, hit pitches that maybe are out of the zone or up in the zone. It's just being able to help me control the barrel a lot better.
I feel like you did defensively this past weekend.
Defensively has been something that I for sure focus on. It's something that I think can put me over the top of a lot of people, and being able to help our pitchers, especially with just being able to control the defense, control everybody, basically just knowing what to do, and just being that guy that can have questions answered by pitchers, younger infielders, guys around us. Like me and Drew Smith, I think did very well communicating and just being able to be ahead of the game. But defensively, for sure, there's improvement always, but I think we're heading in the right direction for sure.
That play, I think it was in the Baylor game, in the hole, you kind of backhand it, slide, throw. Walk me through what you were seeing on that play, what you were thinking in the mindset when you're making a play like that.
Yeah, it's all just instinct. It's all things that we work on, and when it comes to that moment, you're prepared. So, which is why we practice those things, and once it happens, you're ready and you're not really thinking about it. So, I looked back a couple of times on it, and obviously it was a crazy play to make, and it was pretty cool to watch after the game. But yeah, just being prepared for it through practice and not really more of just a reaction in the game.
What struck me on that play was how quick you got to your feet. Do you work on that? How do you work on that? Is it something that you do work on?
Yeah, so that is something we'll work on with Hinkle, is just sliding, getting up right away, because obviously to make a play like that in the hole, you need to react quickly and get up to your feet. You don't really have time to, lay there and get up and throw the ball. So just things working on is just getting to the ball, getting up, and getting rid of it as soon as possible.
You're pretty darn vocal in the field, whether it's like encouraging a pitcher or calling out a play. Where did is that something not that you worked on, but had to learn throughout the offseason? Just how did that come about?
Yeah, so I think that is just something that's required out of that position, and I've kind of just been able to develop the maturity to be able to, lead from that spot. And I think being in that spot, you got to be vocal. You got to be able to help your guys out any way you can. And something that I've talked to Waz about is being either at a level 10 or being at a level 5 or being at a level 2, depending on what a guy needs on the mound. And that's something I'm still trying to work on. And, some guys need that level 10, need that level 5, need that level 2. And I think it's just a huge part of being a leader on that defense end, which could really carry your performance if you're always in the game talking. So,
How do you find those levels? Like, does the pitcher just come up afterwards and be like, "Hey, be quiet," or something like that?
It's definitely something you can communicate with your guy. I've had conversations with guys before. What works for you. It's kind of just building that relationship with your teammates. You need to know what certain guys need to get to that spot to where they can compete their hardest, and just what could calm a guy down to be able to, go out there and compete.
What's your natural level, would you say? Like 2, 5, 10? When you're just talking to somebody, where would you want to be at?
Personally, if someone were to talk to me, I think I'd probably need that level 10. I think certain guys obviously need that something, but you know who your guys are and what they need. So
Was it like, is it an adjustment then to kind of drop down to the 2?
no, I mean, I don't think it's much of an adjustment. It's just, you know your level of voice and the kind of, vibe you're giving off to your guys. So, I mean, it's just having pretty much just self-awareness and what your guy needs.
Overall, the offense has started slow this past weekend, but got it going, especially in the second and the third games. Just where do you think the potential of this lineup is or can be?
Yeah, this lineup has the potential to be, one of the best in the country, I think, personally. And we didn't obviously perform fantastic this weekend as much as we wanted to, but I think there was definitely bright spots and where, you could see that coming up and working on adjustments, we're going to be pretty darn good. And the amount of depth we have off the bench is even crazy. Like, I think we have guys that can come into the lineup and, hit anywhere and make an impact immediately. So I just think it's the matter of making adjustments this week and going into the weekend and the rest of the season. And there's always adjustments to be made.
How are you able to balance it feels like we left something on the table in Texas, and hey, I'm really excited about the potential of this team?
Yeah, so it's kind of just seeing that potential, working on it throughout the week, and kind of just going in and executing what you're working on in the weekend.
What's it like working with Cooney up the middle?
The kid brings energy, and I'm excited for what he has to bring in the future for sure. As you guys can see, he's got a lot of talent. He came in the winter and immediately had an impact and was, very hard to get out. And that's a guy that you need in your lineup for sure. And I know that he may have not had his best weekend, but always he's going to compete and he will bring his best no matter what. So that's something that we can trust him for sure.